Hi. My name is Kevin Tui. I'm the Atlassian community leader for Atlassian Meru. I can't explain how excited I am to be talking here with you today. Just excited to be coming there to Kisii University and just to enjoy, just to have fun together with you, as also we celebrate your achievement of being the most active university during the Corporate Career Academy online sessions. Just again, before I get to even to more details, I just want to tell you what Atlassian is all about. So Atlassian is a company. It's a company that builds teamwork and productivity tools, and also advocates for best practices with regards to remote working, agile, and all that regards to becoming productive, whether with your studying or whether in the workplace, just to ensure that you can be able to work well in a team and get the most out of whatever you're trying to do. So we'll be coming to Kisii University just to talk about a number of things in the actuarial career day, and I can't explain how excited I am just thinking about it and how we're going to have it tomorrow. But even before going that much more about it, the objective of the Atlassian region, the Atlassian community events, is to be able to bridge between the industry and also what you are doing at campus. So we are trying to make sure we are doing our best to just ensure that we are bringing you the best. And I can't explain how our partnership with Corporate Career Academy is growing in terms of lengths. We are so delighted with what Kisii University has been able to achieve. There are going to be like over 200 people in that event, and I'm just excited to be just there. And lest there's anything, I just want to urge other universities to take advantage of the Corporate Career Academy session. And if you're the most active university, maybe, just maybe, it can be you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and those who are watching us, welcome to yet another session of Corporate Career Academy. In today's session, we are discussing about data science, what Olam describes as the oil, and we don't have people to mine the oil. So Olam, welcome to East Africa. I hope West Africa is fine. Welcome to East Africa. You are speaking to awesome industry leaders who are here to listen to you and get to understand about what happens in data science. The way you have described data science as the sexiest career, I think that's where we start from. But before we go far, I wish to introduce Stacy Gishuki. Stacy Gishuki is the Vice Chairperson, Actuarial Society of Kenya. Stacy, you can say hi to the team as we start our session, if you can hear me. Hello, Stacy.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Stacy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's nice to see you in person, although it's through the internet. Yeah, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say about actuarial. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Stacy. Today we are discussing about data, and when you talk about data, people will wonder, do I need to be a mathematician to start data science? So those are some of the questions Olam will be able to explain, but I wanted to say something. In this partnership, we are working with the Atlassian community and the Insurance Institute of East Africa. What they have agreed in our form of partnership, the most active university ends up getting a fiscal event in their college, courtesy of Atlassian community. And again, the most active university and the second most active university gets a free course from Insurance Institute of East Africa. Who will be the best university? Who will be the second runners up? How do you know this? Just comment on our comment section by indicating the name of your university, and the university with the most active participants would be given an opportunity to host an event in college. Why is Atlassian concerned about an event in college? Their work is to promote collaboration and teamwork. So they believe you can only be a team if you are able to do something in common. And going for an online session like this as a team is a form of a common bond. So be the best. Be the best. Encourage your classmates in school to participate. In the event in college, we'll be able to involve a number of participants, not only from the School of Actuarial, we'll also be able to involve all the students. So anybody can be able to vote in, write your name, where you are watching us from, and tell us any question you have for data science. Olam is here, is the most valued person by Microsoft. That's a very big title to have in this world. So the most valued person is today with us here. So I want to appreciate Kisii University, who are also organizing an event for tomorrow, having been the best university. Tomorrow we shall be at Kisii University. You can also follow the discussion online. We'll be online from around 10. We shall have the head of HR from Resolution Insurance talking about preparing for the industry. We shall also have the head of data and analytics from Jubilee Health Insurance. All of them coming to talk to you about actuarial and about the world of work. Welcome, Olam. Your name is long, so I only like to call you Olam, like your colleagues call you. Feel free to introduce yourself, who you are, where you come from, and take us through the most sexiest career in the world. I really look forward to that. Thank you very much, and you can now introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you, Livingstone. And it's a great passion from me. Good afternoon from West Africa. And it's good to connect to you guys. I'm Olanrewaju Oyinbooke by name. Of course, I've had a lot of career. I started in data. I studied statistics from university in Nigeria, my first degree. And since then, I have piqued interest in not just what data can do, it is how it can actually transform lives. And this has made me to engage in both freelancing jobs as well as corporate jobs relating to business intelligence, data science, data management, data governance. And recently, I pick up with automation, leveraging on data, where I advocate as a community advocate in Nigeria on Microsoft Power Platform, teaching Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent, and a whole lot of things like that. My passion is in data, and most of the things I'll be sharing with you are actually not just a copy and paste. They are really experience that is born out of my engagement within the space with in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Right. So I'm really excited to start the presentation.
Wow, thank you very much, Olam. Maybe the other thing you need to mention is that Olam is the lead faculty in Tekedia Institute. We are also doing a college boost together with Tekedia Institute in the US. So, awesome. Olam, you can also tell us your experience in Tekedia and the program you have for students, those who are in data. So, welcome to the presentation. Feel free to navigate through the presentation. Welcome.
All right. Thank you once again, Livingstone. Of course, I'm one of the faculty at Tekedia Institute, and my course is on workplace automation, productivity, and collaboration. So that is available for the Tekedia Mini MBA as well as the Tekedia College Boost. If you partake in the Tekedia Mini MBA, you will see my course in week 2. Of course, the College Boost is already arranged, and you can see those courses there. And hopefully, by November, I will also be talking in the Tekedia Innovation Series on the same topic of driving innovation and collaboration within organization. But that is not about today's presentation. I'm going to be sharing with you today on what I call exploring the sexiest job of the century, starting your career in data science. I'm very passionate about this presentation because I can relate with every slide that I've put together. All right, let me proceed here. I'm going to start with this quote. Data is the new oil, and I live in an oil country where nobody is drilling. I came up with this quote in 2019 to summarize the passion, to summarize my expectation, to summarize the situation of the country as at that time. Even though nothing has significantly changed, this is not only to Nigeria, it is to Africa. We see it on huge amount of data. And if data truly is the new oil, then we are all living in a country where nobody is drilling. The heart of drilling data is that part where you go deep into the data to mine the heart of data and bring out its intent. That is when you uncover insight. That is when you are able to leverage on data to transform organizations. That's how you are able to leverage on data to bring forward innovation and to cause breakthrough in an organization. So, very clear that if you look at what is happening around us in Africa, a lot of us countries, we are sitting huge amount of data. And this data, nobody is drilling. All we are just doing is flaring the gases by just touching the face, doing descriptive reporting. The art of mining and drilling is the art of data science. All right. Then a brief about me. I'm not going to talk so much. Olanrewaju Oyinbooke is my name. I'm a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. Of course, you can connect with me on Twitter. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well as on YouTube, because I also have a channel where I teach on things like that. All right. So let us start with opportunities. This is the summary of my message to you today. Opportunities. If you want to pick up any keyword in the data science space or data space, opportunity is that thing that you should hold on to. And I'm going to open us all to these massive opportunities. First, let us look at the global opportunities. What do we have? The data gap. The data gap seems to be a challenge, but it is the opportunity. What do I mean by data gap? Right now, as at early part of 2020, the world has generated 32 jottabytes of data. Within this 32 jottabyte is a unit of measurement. We have from the bit to to nibble to byte to kilobyte to megabyte to gigabyte to terabyte to petabyte to exabyte to yottabyte and to zettabyte. It's a very huge. So when you see 32 jottabytes of data, it summarizes all the data the world has generated as at early part of 2020. Out of these 32 jottabytes, only 11 jottabytes has been analyzed. That is less than 37%. So we have a data gap of 21 jottabytes, meaning, let's just say, 63% of the data generated today are yet to be analyzed. If you look at it, lies within this data are the answer to unlock the next trillion-dollar business in Africa. Lies in this data is the answer to unlock that wealth that you have desired. Lies in this data is the answer to achieve that fulfillment, that growth that you want to have in your career, because the data actually provide answer. Right here, this seems to be a challenge, but I want you to see it as opportunities. There's a data gap. There are two reasons why we're having this data gap. Number one, we don't have sufficient skill. We don't have enough people who are skillful enough to mine this data and bring out its intent. That's why we have that data gap. Data is being generated every day at an exponential rate. Meanwhile, the skill required to mine this data and bring out insight are only increasing at an arithmetic rate. So definitely the gap will keep going. There is opportunity here. If you also look at it, there's something that I tag the second wave of digital transformation. In 2020, after the pandemic, everybody stepped into the second wave of digital transformation. The floor was lifted from all of us. What do I mean by floor? All the technologies and tools that are on-premise, that we have to depend on the physical location to access, they became obsolete. All of us have to hang to the cloud. You want to have meeting, you have to source for a way to do that on the cloud, in the cloud, using Zoom, using Teams, and the rest, including technology and infrastructures. Everything has to move to the cloud. This is the second wave of digital transformation. And you need to know what characterizes this wave so that you can ride on it to your advantage. What are the things that? Number one, health becomes priority. Actuarial, you have to do a lot of risk modeling here again, and automation. Everybody wants to become a technology firm. You want to have technology, you want to leverage on technology, selling insurance, technology selling health, technology firm selling products and services. You just want to be first a technology firm, because there's no way to survive without leveraging on technology. You also see risk, and that's where it comes in. There's a new modeling of risk, things that were never factored into modeling in the past. You have to start looking at them and put consideration to them. and is a huge business. Not just risk in covering your lives and families, the cybersecurity is becoming a threat again because things are migrating to the cloud. What used to be risk in terms of hacking is no longer the risk. It's moving because the technologies to be hacked, they are no longer the ones we have on the on-prem. They're in the cloud. So there's increased demand for cybersecurity experts. And I'm just saying these are the opportunities within that space. And lastly, personal analytics, ability to derive insight about yourself. When you have a phone that can tell you, just click on a button and you can see how much you are spending on airtime, how much you are spending, on data, and how much you are spending on maybe going out, Saturday whinings and Friday whinings and the rest. You'll be surprised. You were buying those things, but you never took note. But if you can click on an application that analyzes your data and shows you an insight, you'll be amazed. And that is what our health is coming, is bringing to us. We have the wristband. We have different health check tools today now that when you put them on yourself and you see, wow, this is how much, this number of steps I've taken in a day. You were taking those steps, you never noticed. But the moment you start measuring it, you were surprised. So this personal analytics is also becoming a very huge thing in the second wave of data transformation. When it comes to data, remember, all these things are riding on data and much more than this. One thing that I know about this field based on my experience is that the discipline is really, really evolving. In the past, it used to be data analyst, and data analyst does everything. It's the data scientist, is the one that deployed, is the one that do all the work. I am going to tell you more about them. But things are changing. We're having different separate roles. We're having a actuarial analyst who is also different from a data analyst within an organization. I'm fortunate to work with a group. I work in a multinational, and we do insurance business, we do health, HMO, we do investment. So I'm quite familiar with this domain as well. Multidiscipline, you necessarily don't have to be from computer science. You can study languages and still be able to do these things. You can study any, no matter your discipline. And as a matter of fact, it is called collective intelligence because you have to come from different disciplines. For you to be a data scientist today, you need to know a bit of mathematics, a bit of programming, a bit of statistics, a bit of the knowledge of the business. Add them together. That's multidiscipline. It's not necessarily that you must study computer science or be a mathematician before you can do it. No. Skill gap, like I said in data gap, there's huge skill gap. And I'm going to expatiate on this when I move to the next gap. As well as use case, there's a gap in use cases. And that is what is also driving the skill gap. How many people, what are the real life application of AI, advanced analytics in businesses? This part of the world, we try to consume those products, but we do not make use of them up to that level. Here are the opportunities. In 2020, Microsoft projected that by 2025, there's going to be 149 million new jobs created in the digital space. Please pay attention, in the digital space. And these 149 million new jobs, they can be seen right here. You see, 98 million of them is software development. We see 20 million data analysis, machine learning, and AI. 23 million cloud and data roles. Just join the 20 and 23 million together. That's 43 million new jobs in data analysis, machine learning, and AI, as well as cloud and data roles. 43 million new jobs. That's huge in 5 years. Where's the skills to fill this gap? So remember what I said, and I'll keep reiterating it. It is opportunities, not a challenge. It is opportunity for you. All right. And I used to say this, wherever you are free to confess this to yourself, that I can never be poor in my life. And why am I saying this? It's because of the opportunities I want to present to you in the data science space. All right. Okay, let's look at why. Number one, how much does a data scientist make? This is according to the US data, which is the Glassdoor. This Glassdoor data. I did this few weeks ago. This is a job. On the average, the salary is 115,000 US dollars. Come on. If you convert that to your currency right now, you know what that means. 115,000 US dollars per annum. Average. And it ranges from 81,000 from the low here to 165,000 per annum. Yes, it is the skill. I have mentored people. I have, helped people who have secured a high-paying job in this data space, or at least I've exposed people to that opportunities. When you develop your skill as a data scientist, you are not relevant to the local communities alone. You become a global commodity. You become someone that, people can poach you from other nations, from other continents, and pay you well because you have the skill. And the world right now need the skill to cover the digital acceleration request. Let's dive deeper about the job placement on Glassdoor. Let's see different job roles in data space, in data science, and the salary. You might not have been exposed to these different job leveling cadre for data scientists, but I'm going to show you this. Look at the related job titles. All this big data, everything is still data science. Put them together. You can see the salary placement on Glassdoor. Big data, $104,000. You see, just take time to come back to this video on this channel and review all these things that we're sharing. And because I want to believe that you will have reasons to come back and check again. It is real insight. Just to open you up that you are not meant to be in that domain alone, especially if you learn data. You are not a local commodity. You are international commodity. And these are the things you should be targeting, not the average salary they are paying in your country or continent. Rather, look at the global, because you are not a local, product as well. You are global. And global product demands global value, which is what I'm showing you here, the global scale. All right. There is already a defined career path for data science. And I'm going to show us data, all the roles that comes together around the data part. But these are the career path. Data scientist, which is you have between 2 to 4 years of experience. Between 2 to 4 years of experience, you are earning an average of $115,000. The level 3, where you might be a senior data scientist, you can see the salary has increased. $140,000. I'm not going to be touching the salary. I want you to come back later. I just want to pass it to you that there's already a defined career path in the data science space. We have data scientists 2 to 4 as well. We have data scientists 4, 5 to 7 years of experience, and we have so many. It continues like that. You can see the salary up to senior director of data science, who earns, $224,000. Come on, per annum. This is an opportunity. And I want to tell you, if you can pay the sacrifice to learn and build on your skill, this is achievable for you as well, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your country. These are the important skill sets that you need to intentionally develop. The machine learning knowledge, statistics. You need not to be a statistician, but you can learn this. Take 1 or 2 courses, then practice. The more you practice, the more you understand the concept. Python, people use, R or Python. R is basically, is optimized for statistical research. And of course, some actuarial modeling use R, because I've used that before. But when I moved to the role of data scientist, I was working purely with Python, because Python is a general purpose programming language. You can use Python for building web. You can use it for backend development. You can use it for data science. You can use it for so many things. It has all the framework. But you should just focus on Python for data science, which include the normal library, the pandas, the scikit-learn, the algorithm, and the API, the frameworks like Fast API, like Flask, those 2 are major API for framework for deployment. With Python, either you use Flask or you use the Fast API. Hadoop Spark, that's when you are talking about big data, because data science does not stop with machine learning. We have the deep learning part of it, and you don't talk mainly about deep learning sometimes if you are not exposed to much of information or a complex algorithm. Of course, SQL, you need to have a good knowledge of data and how to talk to the data. SQL is the English language for data. If you want to talk to data where they are sitting in the databases, you need to learn how to speak their language, which is SQL. Right. I'm going to be very fast because time is not on the side. These are still continuation of those different career paths for a data scientist. You can see the values, you can see, just look at them. The vice president of data science, we have the senior vice president of data science, we have the chief data scientist, And these are the levels of years of experience. Of course, one thing you also notice is I have on this slide the jobs available as at the last time, I put this slide together with about 3 weeks ago. And when I scroll back to the beginning, just to let you know, right here we have 22,000 jobs available already on Glassdoor. 22,000 jobs available for data scientists. The job role vacancy that I mentioned as projected by Microsoft is already there. Principal data scientist, we have 2,000 listed. Where are the skills to fill this gap? Of course, we don't have them like that. It is an opportunity for you. All right, what are the different roles? I just mentioned data science. There are different roles in that space, in the data domain. And I've been opportune and privileged within my years of experience to cut across these roles. And what are those roles? I'm going to separate them into these three. First, pre-data capture, at the point of data capturing, and post-data capture. When it talks about pre-data capture, what are the roles we have there? We have this, data engineer. If you hear about data engineer, they are those people that focus on building pipelines. They figure out how to gather and organize data before the data itself is being collected. So that they want to put in place the structure that sort of, help seamlessly integration of data to the business, to processes. They do that. And we also have the data architect, just like architecture, architecting a building. They are responsible for planning the architecture or framework in which the data to be collected will be processed and stored. They do the planning of the framework, the data engineer build the pipeline within that framework, and then data start flowing and the business start enjoying the seamless, data. Those are the roles before data are being captured. So in the entire data spectrum, there are many roles. And I need to expose you to that. We also have, at the point of data capture, we have people that we call data owners and data stewards. I'm also a data management expert, so I understand the different roles, and that's what I'm showing you in this form. Data owners and stewards are responsible for capturing data from the back end. They're actually within an organization. They're the business owner, the process owners, they're the people that impute something at the back end of the application. They are also a role within the data domain. And it is what data engineers and architects has planned that data owners and stewards we follow by plugging the data into the system and then generating report as needed. Then after this data is being captured, there are roles that their work is not, they can't even do anything until these two things are done. First, the architecture has been drawn and implemented. Second, the data has been captured, and finally you have them. I have 4 people here. And what are they? For the data analyst. I call them explorers. They clean and transform data in quest for insight. They use visualizations, Power BI, Tableau, Excel, to visualize data, to deliver KPI for businesses. We also have the business analyst. They do documentation, but yet they leverage on data to provide insight to the business. They leverage on data to interpret. They are dependent on interpreting visualization. Don't be surprised that in many organizations, they just call them business intelligence analysts. The moment they put business and put analyst and intelligence there, meaning you are the one doing the visualization, you're also the one, of course, who is interpreting, deciding the strategy. This further re-emphasize or reconfirm what I said before about the discipline, the different features about this discipline. There is an evolving role. Because you're a data analyst, you might be required to also interpret until your organization is able to separate those roles. We have data scientists. They do almost, they do everything that data analyst does, but they do more than that. They apply statistical techniques to differentiate between signal and noise. I have built a couple of models and solutions, and I've trained in data science space a lot. And I can confidently tell you that data scientists are not data analysts. Data analysts, you don't have to bother yourself about prediction or determining, separating signal from noise. Data scientists will tell you they are the real person who is there to tell you that correlation does not imply causation. They are the one who to test that. They need to test, validate using approved statistical techniques. Because you see a trend does not mean that thing is influencing the other. And you cannot do that or answer that question until you apply machine learning techniques and also to predict uncertainties. And lastly here, we have the AI and machine learning engineers. These are the guys that does deployment. Similar to when we have the data engineer that does deployment of data architecture, that does the deployment of the pipelines. AI and machine learning engineers does the deployment. When data scientists build their models, you have it available in Pico file, in different formats, or in notebook. The AI and machine learning engineers are the one that make it consumable, deploy it and become an API endpoint that business can connect to, or connect it to an interface where people can just enjoy. These are roles that I believe exposing you to them will help you situate yourself well, or know maybe what I do today is still more of data analyst. I need to move to data science by learning, the machine learning aspect and some other core skills. I'm almost done, but I would like to tell you what are the recommended skill sets, for data science. You need to be very good with tools and technology. Things like programming skill like Python, R, SQL, Spark, Hadoop. You also need to learn about Docker. Docker is a container that is being used for deployment of solution, especially if your organization is looking for a means of deploying solution without incurring cost. So you can, if you have your on-premise solution, on-premise server, you can deploy using Docker and people can consume. But if you have to go to Azure, Cloud, Azure, or AWS, you spend. So Docker is a very good way, even if the company will spend on that. First, do a POC without spending any money. Use Docker for deployment, and for you to use Docker, you should know a basic of Linux operating system commands like the nano and few of that, just to be able to interact, because it is not a it's not a graphical user interface, it's not a GUI that you can be pointing and clicking. It just requires writing some simple to complex commands. Also, frameworks like Flask for model deployment, like Fast API, like Django. You might ask me that, but AI engineers are the one to deploy. Why am I, as a data scientist, learning Flask, learning Fast API? Like I also said, the role, don't be surprised if you are the only person employed in your organization, or when you are done, from study, or you are doing internship. Oh, let us also have a data scientist, and you get employed as an intern, and you are the only person there. They expect you to do all these things. They expect you to analyze, they expect you to build model, they expect you to deploy. For you to build yourself up, you also need to learn, if not all, a bit of these technologies and tools. More also, be very acquainted with platforms like GCP, AWS, Azure, even on-premise technology. It will be helpful for you. And lastly, the soft skills. You need to be good with communication. You need to be able to interface with the business, understand them, be able to translate their needs to solution. Domain knowledge. If you are working in insurance, you should know that very well. You should know what claims mean. You should know claims conditions. You should know what it means for a customer to leave, attrition rate. You should be able to, premium, or all this different knowledge that is driving the business. You should be able to do that, to know those things. Curiosity. I can never overemphasize this. You need to be very curious. For you to deliver a working solution, to be good at it, even to learn and grow, you have to be very curious. Tips. I'm going to share with you a few tips to secure your first internship in case you want to go into data science. How do I secure my internship and my first internship offer? First, you have to build your portfolio. You have to work on sample projects and demonstrate your learnings. Try as much as possible to show your work and not your certificate. Not just post certificate on LinkedIn. Show exactly what you've been able to do through that course. Participate on Kaggle, Zindi Africa, Data Science Nigeria is driving that a whole lot as well. Network with people, connect. Connect on LinkedIn, connect with me, connect with people, industry leaders, attend events like this, get involved, do SQL challenge, do machine learning days challenges, and I'll attend webinars like this, organized by this corporate career academy. Of course, the sample project that I have here, I believe is going to share with you guys, this is a sample project from Kaggle, red wine quality. You can consider this and try it out. This is another sample project on used cars dataset usability. It's also on Kaggle, of course. And lastly, let's talk about the suggested pathway for you. It's on your mark, set and go. Your first thing should be knowledge. That is why today I'm always increasing in knowledge. My profile reads, consumed by passion, ignited by possibility. The passion must be there to learn. It's not cake, it's not 1 + 1. but it's not impossible. You can learn it, but you should be open to learning. Passion, learning the fundamentals. Take the simplest of the task, try them out, commit to them. The challenges that people face at this stage is impatience. If this is your first time of taking this part now, you've seen the money, you've seen the luxury, you are not patient. You don't want to learn the fundamentals. How do I build that model? That's the next question in your mind. You don't want to learn, but I will advise you not that you should take 1 year learning fundamentals. Even if it is 3 weeks, even if it is 1 month you have, if it is 2 months for fundamentals, pay attention and learn them well. And don't be impatient. After this, go after skill. You have learned the theories, you have seen different things, you have some knowledge now, then go after skill. Participate in bootcamp, competitive data science, learn how to use GitHub very well, deployment of solution, Flask framework, and the rest. At this point, a lot of people get challenged, and their challenges is deep learning. This time around, you should be learning, just machine learning. Learn machine learning is sufficient. People here what is that deep learning? Learn one before you go to the other. I don't use deep learning today. I don't even know how to do that. You necessarily don't have to do that before you can become a data scientist. And again, it's about applicability, use case. Can you apply it to a business and deliver value? If machine learning can do that for you, you don't need to be running after deep learning in the name of I want to learn the buzzword. And after this, we have the experience, then go for experience. When you have knowledge and you have few amount of skill, it will be easier for you to secure your first internship. You become an intern, junior data scientist, you are now learning cloud solutions or deep learning. The challenge here is limited hands-on experience. Of course, a lot of people do not have enough use cases to work on. And this is why all these other platforms that I've mentioned is so helpful. And I'm going to touch base with those platforms as well. The last part here is you can now name your title. You saw at the beginning of this presentation, I was showing different job roles. You can name your title. I want to be chief data scientist. Yes, people will pay you for that because you have the knowledge, you have the skill, and you have acquired the experience. Call yourself anything. You can always earn it. So, Learning Companion, Analytic Vidya, Zindi Africa, Kaggle, Khan Academy, YouTube is a great place to learn, like events like this. Git, Coursera, Data Camp, Udacity, a whole lot of them. These are your Learning Companion. And thank you. We've come to the end of the presentation.
Wow. Thank you very much for this discussion. I really enjoy what you have just shared with us. Before we go to questions, I want to appreciate some few people who are watching us. Sharon Kibol, Chuka University, thank you very much. David Mbudha, Tukondani, Prudence Karimi, Andrew Kivindo from Seku, Stacy from Karatina, thank you very much. We have Paula Wanjiku from Chuka, we have Umburu Maina, thank you very much for watching. Kaira Kamau, Francis Kirinyaga, University of Eldoret, Simiren, thank you very much. University of Eldoret again, Cheruyot, Melvin Kalmel from Chuka, we have John Kiari, Kirinyaga University, Anthony Kipkorir, among others. Thank you very much for watching. I want to pick some two things. As I wait for questions, I have one question which was asked earlier. One of the things I've picked from you is that we should not rush for papers. Let's rush for experience and skills. So employers are not looking for how many papers you have. They are looking at what are the skills you have. Because the question we have had most of the time when you hold an event, people will ask you, you give us a certificate. Mm-hmm. And Olan has confirmed that the employers are not interested in that, to know. The other thing I've picked for you to learn data science, you don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be a mathematician. You can learn from wherever you are. I was speaking to one of my friends, Professor Akayode, who now works with Microsoft in the US. And he started from a technical college. And finally, he's now a data engineer. Just starting from there. We have had a discussion with our friends from Kenya Airlift program who are also taking students to the US to study IT-related programs. And they're telling us that you don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to be in computer to learn. You can learn so long as there's interest. So thank you very much for that. So there's one question I have here, and it was asked by Koira Kamau. What's the difference between data science and data security? Maybe Olam, you can clarify that.
All right, thank you. It's an interesting question. So let me put on a hat of a data management officer, and that will help. So when you look at data science, like I said before, data science, let me put it as a data scientist. What do you do? As a data scientist, you have the skill and the tool, which are programming tool. You look into data to model data, understand what has happened in the past. Then you use that thing to predict the future. Okay, what could happen in the future? So you are doing predictive, you are doing prescriptive, not just telling us what will happen in the future. How can we add, how can we achieve that thing? If you are projecting something positive, what should we do to get it done? If you are projecting something negative, what should we do to avoid it? So data scientists, they are into that, leveraging on data and using advanced analytics technologies and languages to tell us more about what will happen about the future by considering the past. Data science does those things. But data security, from the word security, you are after securing data. And in terms of role, we have things like data privacy owner, and these are guys who are after how do we get data secured? How do we control access to data? And of course, it's becoming a major thing. We have information security. These are one of those roles that after how can we secure our data? So there are two different things. One is focusing on working with this data to tell us, to bring insights that can drive the business in 3 dimensions. Number one, how can this solution improve the revenue that we are generating? Number two, how can this solution reduce our cost? Number three, how can this solution optimize our processes? So this is what data scientists focus on. Whatever solution you are building, it should be able to reduce your cost or increase the revenue of the organization or optimize your processes. Meanwhile, information or data security are after how do we secure this data as an asset. We now know that data is very valuable. It's the next oil. It's even the new oil. And data scientists are doing a lot from it. So let us secure it for them. That is what data privacy or data security or information security are after.
Let's just give them some few questions, some time to share their questions. But the other thing I want just to get a clarification, you've mentioned about your role in the insurance industry. Most of the students who are listening here are from actuarial, insurance, and risk management. I know there are others from other disciplines. How can you describe for them the role of a data scientist in the insurance industry? What is the role like?
Okay, thank you. So it is highly use case driven. We have organizations. In the Europe, you see they have a well-matured teams for different roles. But for a data science and insurance industry, when I say it is use case driven, you are not there just to be wrangling data. You are there to say, okay, take for example, premium prediction model. Actuarial guys are most likely the ones who go ahead and predict, maybe model, reserves and do all those things. But there's still a part of it that, okay, for motor insurance, how do we generate premium? How do we predict premium based on characteristics about the customer? So build a model that can predict your motor insurance based on a couple of variables. Number one, what's your risk rate like? What's your gender? What's the type of car you drive? Where's your location? Is that location exposed to more risk? And so on and so forth. So that's one use case. Another is, another use case could be predicting your customer segment. How do you categorize your customers? A better way that is dynamic. You are not just hard coding the customer category. As customer dynamics is changing, you want to be able to understand that dynamics and inform the business decision. So data science work on that. Things like recommendation engine. If you have more than one product, how do you cross-sell to other customers? You have to build an algorithm that does that as well. So I can actually stop there.
Wow, thank you very much, Olam. You know what you didn't mention? You are working for the largest insurance company, if not in the world, the second in the world.
Yeah, so actually. Yes, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So, and again, as people are interested now in data, have you seen cases? You've said there's no specific qualification or undergrad for you to be qualified to be a data scientist. Of course, there are not many universities who offer data science and the practical part of it. How have you been able to gather these skills that you now commanding that position in that insurance company they search and get later? Me, I know it.
Thank you, Livingstone. So I'm going to put it this way. I study statistics, and it doesn't mean maybe I study statistics or not, whatsoever you study, but from my experience, when I was in the university, I love data. I just know that there's much to data. And then back then, 2013, I was already searching. And I finished university in 2015, by the way, and I started working officially in 2017. So it's a couple of 4 years, and I freelanced in 2015. So making 6 years freelance and corporate work experience. I started searching online for what could be done through data. That was when I got to know about data gap. Okay, I was interested in data. I knew data science. Oh, going to be the most sexy job of the next century. How do I become one? So that was curiosity. And then I downloaded a lot of videos from YouTube. Then I watched them. I didn't understand anything because we don't have enough or sufficient resources today, like we have today. Today, you will see some content that for the beginners, and those content will help you to best understand the concept. And after that, you will see another that is technical and can build on it. So I learned the hard way. I was, searching for information all over there. All these competition, data science competition within Africa now were not there before. And after I got exposed to that field, I started learning Python programming, and I started, taking some courses on Udemy, on Kaggle. Kaggle is a very good place. I learned a lot. I started participating in hackathons. I might come last, but I just want to see, am I able to even do something? The more I expose myself to that, and the more I connect myself to business. So while I am learning those things and participating, then I was saying, oh, this challenge can be useful in my organization. So how do I bring it in? That helps me with the business knowledge. I have to put together a proposal. I have to convince my manager that I can do this. We should try this out. And some of them, if I have access to the data, I will try them out as a POC. Many of them failed. Not everything was successful. So as you start to learn, it's not like you'll be having success from your first attempt. To even understand concept might be difficult sometimes. But if you stay within the ecosystem, you stay within the community, where you see people that share relevant resources, you see people that are doing things like that, you will learn. At a point, I did what I call an initiative called Night of Code. Night of Code, I gather people that want to learn data science alongside with me. Every night on Wednesday, midnight Nigerian time, 12 a.m., we are awake. We connect on Skype, and we are trying to learn and solving the problem together. That way, I use that as well to learn. Those are the initiatives that drove those periods. So for me, and later on, I started taking part in different courses. The IBM course on Coursera is a very good one. I took that. I took Kaggle a lot. I participated in competitions a lot. Then, I was able to build on my knowledge, and right here, I do what I do today.
Yes, thank you very much. Kelvin Charagu is asking, hello, Mr. That name.
Olanrewaju.
In our timeline, what could you do to reach the position you are right now? What could you have done differently if you were a student?
Oh, if I'm still a student, I would say I would be fortunate. Fortunate because you are in the university and you are being exposed to this thing now. I wasn't exposed to it while I was in university. Nobody could clarify the field. Nobody could tell me this is how to do, these are the things you need to learn. But for you, you have them now. Reference back to this video and you see some of the timeline that I put there. In the space of 1 year, you can be really good. I tell you, in the space of 1 year, you can be really good. And if you had 1 year to where you are now, maybe you're already done with university. But if you are not, then all the time you have to spend in university now is a great high. If I am in the university and I got to know about this, one of the things I will start is a community. Start a similar community in your university. You must not be the most experienced. All you have to do is to look for experts who can come and deliver lecture for you every month. They train you guys either virtually, and you are learning through that. You're helping others to also learn. That way you are building on your leadership, community volunteer experience, as well as learning. So if I'm still in university, this is what I would have done. reached out to people today, who are willing to share more knowledge. A lot of that we have them, and that way you learn. When it comes to timeline, I would say in 1 year you can be really good in 1 year, and a year after that time you start looking for the next a job.
Yes. Vincent Omrono is asking, if I learn more of data science and its languages, is it still important to do actuarial exams? I know you are not an actuary, but you can advise you sit with actuaries and you can be able to give an advice, a brotherly advice.
Oh, interestingly, so maybe I should put it this way. I wanted to write. I was a former member of IFOA, Institute and Faculty of Actuaria, the UK body. So meaning I know much about Actuaria as well. I attempted writing the exam at the early stage of my career. Should I go to Actuaria and write the certification exams, or should I focus on data science? So I made a decision, focus on data science. So I think that answered the question. So when you are a data scientist, you necessarily don't have to write actuarial exams. In fact, your practices, you can function outside, actuarial domain completely. You can function in every sphere, in education, in different form of industry, in insurance, out of insurance, in banking, in FMCG, in retail, in technology organizations like Microsoft, big tech firms. You can function across different industry, actually. So you don't necessarily have to write actual exams if you beat up your skill in the data science domain.
Wow, thank you very much. I don't know if Stacy, you have a question for Olanrewaju as we look for other questions from the crowd.
Well,
Stacy,
for me, it's not a question.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's not a question. For me, it's you make data science become so interesting. You make someone have the urge to do data science. So thank you very much for that. I love your passion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you,
Wow.
Ismail. You're welcome.
Wow. Okay. So then the other question I have for most students will ask, and you have answered it partly, where do I get a job if I do data science? You could also be able to highlight some industries where data is more important. I know every industry requires data, but which are the most promising industries of currently for data
All
science?
right, thank you. So the fintech space is high growing in Africa. The use of technologies to drive financial inclusion. So we have banks, we have technology firms, be it consulting technologies, be it the new startups we're having today. And maybe I should put it this way: if you go on LinkedIn today, if you're good with data science and you start learning data science, go on LinkedIn and just search for data science role. And many of these roles are becoming remote. You can be in Nairobi in Kenya and be working for Microsoft in Washington, D.C. You can be in Nairobi in Kenya and still be working for, or you can be even from Kirinyaga. I don't know how to pronounce this now. Kirinyaga University. Of course, I'm working for people in another country. If you have the skill, if you search on LinkedIn today, you will see across all industry, in the agri-tech, in the fintech, in EdTech, in core traditional business, you will definitely see people looking for data science in that role. It is not for you to choose, okay, do I want to work in the fintech? Do I want to work in agri-tech? Do I want to work maybe in electronic vehicle space, in manufacturing, in FMCG? You just decide where do you want to work, or even in consulting. There are roles like that there as well.
Wow. So a friend of mine is asking, before I pull out the other question, is a little bit advanced in age and is wondering, why was he born early? And is asking, can I start at this age?
Can you come over the question?
There's a friend of mine here who is born earlier than most of us. And he feels that this is a field he could have wished to pursue. Can they start at that age?
Okay, I would say
in data science.
I would say that there's no age limit, to be very honest. There's no age limit to learning. There could only be challenges. The level of challenges you face might be different. The young chap might be so used and then understand or grab the technology faster. But there's no age limit. One thing I also advise is if you are already on a path in your career, on a defined career path, if you're whole like that, you must have been on defined career path, you can add the knowledge to what you do and not necessarily move out of that career path. You can add the knowledge and the skill to what you do. It will help you to drive transformation. It will help you to lead a team well. When you know the capability of data science and a machine learning solution, it can inform the way you give direction to your team that, guys, we need to consider this. This is possible. Let's leverage on this. And that could be the win that you can get from that side, not necessarily changing totally your career path from what you do now to data scientist. But of course, it is possible if you have the time to commit as well.
Wow. Andrew Kivindo is asking, which are some of the platforms in which one can get mock practice in order to get the experience other than internship?
Okay, thank you. So when I say mock practice, that could sound like question and answer thing that can help you grow your knowledge. I would say it is not effective. So internship is good, but other things you can do. There are platforms like Kaggle, Kaggle.com. We have platforms like Zindi Africa, headquartered in South Africa. We have platforms like Analytic Vidya. These are data science competitive platforms. There are a lot of challenges there. There are a lot of instruction to even help you to learn when you participate in those competitions. Some of them are rewarding. The Netflix recommendation algorithm challenge that took place on Kaggle, about 12 years ago. Do you know how much they put on that competition? $1 million. I tell you, for the winner of that challenge, the person that was able to optimize Netflix recommendation engine on Kaggle won $1 million. So, but aside the fact that all this competition platform, if you do not win, you will learn. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. So when you are on those platforms, you might not win money because your skill does not make you the best on those challenges, but you will learn, because until you practice, until you do, you cannot have the experience that is needed to perform. Now, you need to do and not just take a mock practice.
Wow. Thank you very much for that answer. I just want to take some few minutes to also remind our viewers that you can, for you who's in the university and you are watching, we want to bring these experts to your university. And I know Olan is also would be willing to come and interact with you one time in Africa, in East Africa. So if you want to win that chance, go to our YouTube channel, comment by the name of the university where you come from, encourage your classmates, encourage your team members to participate, and indicate where they come from. The university with the most active participants becomes the university where we'll host our event. Tomorrow we shall be at Kisii University. Kisii was the most active university in our last session, in our monthly session. So be the one, be the change, and ensure we are able to meet and interact with our experts. We have a lot of experts who are willing to share with you. Open doors by just commenting. Again, we'd also want to urge you to go to our YouTube channel, like it, share, subscribe, so that we can also be able to get such information. We are one of the platforms in Africa that is giving knowledge from the experts. This is not a lecture hall. We are bringing experts to share with you the knowledge. We want you to score your grades so well. Score them. If you get a first class, score it. But again, creating more room to learn new things. Somebody's asking, how can one register for this session? For Corporate Career Academy, we have decided to do our things for free. So we also issue certificates of participation for such an event for free. So what you need to do, go to our, after this session, go to our website. You'll also be able to see that certificate. We'll share the password through your class reps and the faculty representatives and through your university representatives, so that you can be able to get a certificate. But again, Olana said you don't need certificates to show employers. You only need to show them skills, and you can learn skills by listening to these discussions. So if you are there, just subscribe. I want to play some short video here from our sponsor who is sponsoring our on-campus events. Then from there, Olan will be able to give us his closing remarks. Then if there's any question we can answer, closing remarks, then we'll conclude.
Hi. My name is Kevin Tui. I'm the Atlassian community leader for Atlassian Meru. I can't explain how excited I am to be talking here with you today. Just excited to be coming there to Kisii University and just to enjoy just to have fun together with you, as also we celebrate your achievement of being the most active university during the Corporate Career Academy online sessions. Just again, before I get to even to more details, just want to tell you what Outlesion is all about. So Outlesion is a company. It's a company that builds teamwork and productivity tools, and also advocates for best practices with regards to remote working, agile, and all that regards to becoming productive, whether with your studying or whether in the workplace, just to ensure that you can be able to work well in a team and get the most out of whatever you're trying to do. So we'll be coming to KC University just to talk about a number of things in the actuarial career day, and I can't explain how excited I am just thinking about it and how we're going to be having tomorrow. But even before going that much more about it, the objective of the Atlassian region, the Atlassian community events, is to be able to bridge between the industry and also what you are doing at campus. So we are trying to make sure we are doing our best to just ensure that we are bringing you the best. And I can't explain how our partnership with Corporate Career Academy is growing in terms of lengths. We are so delighted of what KC University has been able to achieve. There are going to be like over 200 people in that event, and I'm just excited to be just there. And lest there's anything, I just want to urge other universities to take advantage of the Corporate Career Academy session. And if you're the most active university, maybe, just maybe, it can be you.
Thank you very much, Olam. Thank you very much. You mentioned something, and I want to mention. You mentioned that you didn't study insurance, but you are working in the insurance industry, and there's need to have some knowledge on how insurance works. And this is where we bring you the Insurance Institute of East Africa. The Insurance Institute of East Africa is now a partner of Corporate Career Academy. For them, they are bringing you insurance knowledge. We've been able to negotiate a package for students. So if you are that student who is good in accounting and you may want to get a job in the insurance industry, you need to learn something small about insurance so that you come and fit. You are a data scientist, you are an IT student, and there are opportunities for IT people in the insurance industry. You get an added advantage by learning something about insurance. So the Insurance Institute of East Africa has developed an executive certificate in insurance and risk management in conjunction with the institute in America, which is now the globally in America, that's the regulator, the developer programs. And again, the program is going through accreditation by CII. So if you are seated there, the program is now going for a half price for a student. Currently, the program is going for $48 for those who are working. But for students, the college has been magnanimous enough to give us at less than 60% of that price. So what do you need to do? Contact us, Corporate Career Academy. We'll be able to link you with the college. You'll be able to start the program for 3 months. Other than that, we have told them that students may not have that enough money. So yours will be, they give you room to pay kidogo in Kenya, a little until you finish. So once you pay some amount, you do a given program. By the end of your payment, you have done the program and you understand the industry. That again comes into the financial services industry. We'll be announcing more partnerships, especially those that benefit students. Olam, when I speak to students, the next thing they ask me, where are internships? How can a student get internship? Well, that's the biggest question they ask me. Where are internships?
All right. So I'm going to say that if you need an internship, you should not start when you need it. Your search and preparation should start at the minimum, 6 months before that time. And how do you get that? You need to, connect, go online first. What are the kind of companies you want to do your internship? Are they, insurance? What is the name? Search for that company online on LinkedIn and look for employees, people that are working in that company. Try to connect with them. Personalize your invite to them. When you just connect, many people might not accept. But if you write a personalized invite, you're able to tell them, I'm a student, I'm passionate about this field, and I would like to connect with you. When you just say that, they feel more like they're more likely to respond. And once they connect with you, what that means is they get to see whatsoever you share on that platform as well. And those are evidences. So if you want an internship, try to show that you have some basic knowledge. Like Livingstone has said, some of these trainings and programs, try to participate in them. The program is doing now, participate and make use of them, like this platform. And share your thoughts, share what you learn, share those things online. Share them on LinkedIn so that there's a digital footprint for you. Most of the time, that is your CV. And by the time you are building and you are showing the skills, your growth, you are already connected to these people. So they can see some of them. And when it's time for internship, a month or 2 months before that time, you hint them. Okay, you are done with this. You can do this. You would like to, if there's an opportunity for you to intern in the organization. When you say something like that, if there's room, they will let you know. If there's not, you might still tell them, maybe it's because of money. That's okay. If you are willing to take it without being paid, you can tell them that, I really want to learn and grow. And I'm okay, even if you can't pay anything, you can just put my, convenience fee, my transportation. I'm okay. I want to learn. Sometimes some internship can be gotten through that method. Sometimes they will pay you, but if they're not willing to pay and you really want to intern with that company, you can offer yourself to learn for free. Of course, they should be able to foot your transportation. And if it is something you have to do remote, that's great because it's already had your work experience. So that's my, response to that.
Wow, that's a good place to end it, that we need to be more aggressive and follow through the internships, because there are many students who require internships and they are not available. But again, we are working with partners, people who are willing to work with us. Actually, I've just received a call from one of the data science best schools in Africa. We have been discussing with how do they offer data training courses, and they are willing to have a discussion. So once we have that discussion, we'll let you know this is where you can learn, and if there's an opportunity, make use of that when you are in college, so that when you come out of college, you have the experience needed. Thank you very much for watching our discussion today. And Stacy Gishuki, the Vice Chair of the Actuarial Society of Kenya, thank you very much for being part of this discussion. Thank you very much, Olam, for just setting your time to come and discuss with us out of your busy schedule and out of the work you have. This is what we are doing so that we can be able to build the next generation of leaders who are more aware of their career, who are more aware of opportunities, and are willing to chase them as the opportunities come. From the Corporate Career Academy, I really appreciate the best university from this, and you'll be able to see it from the comments, which you can always review. That's our IEBC, is the comments you have on WhatsApp. You can be able to count yourself and see who was the most active university by the number of comments. We'll be at your university next month. Tomorrow, we are at Kisii University. Highly delighted to have our Atlassian community sponsor that event, and again, support collaboration and teamwork. Thank you very much. May God bless you. See you next time, and let's meet, let's discuss. Our next speaker in the series of Career in Insurance, Risk Management, and Actuarial. We'll also announce the speaker in the next few weeks. Thank you very much. Meet you tomorrow. Meet you next week.
Thank you.
Corporate career responsibility is a call to all experts and consultants to give back their time, skills, knowledge, and expertise to mentor and nurture future industry leaders. Are you passionate in nurturing future industry leaders and professionals who will take enterprise to a higher level? Corporate Career Academy, together with Student TV, is giving you an opportunity to share your knowledge, skills, and mentor students and young professionals.